Their decency and their self-restraint is even more inspiring, because if it was now, of course, they'd just go to some swingers club and they'd be swapping wives in Surbiton.
Stop now. It's not for me to say, but I'm going to press you for an answer, Sue and Robin.
I personally think that you loathe it, because there was such vehemence in and there was just I can't stop hating it.
John, give us your definitive answer. Do you love it?
And the winner is...
No!
I love Brief Encounter.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
It's my favourite film.
No, John.
Do you know that Brief Encounter changed my life completely?
Oh, God.
When I first came to this country when I was 14, I had grown up in New York and I had a very thick New York accent, and all the girls at boarding school immediately put me into Coventry. I didn't even know where that was, and they wouldn't speak to me, and I thought I'd better change my accent, and after about 6 weeks it was really becoming a bit tiresome. And then the school, we were allowed a film every now and then, and we were shown Brief Encounter. And I thought, oh, I'll speak like that. And that is why I sound like I'm trapped in a black and white film. But it was.
It's so very, very difficult.
Alec tells Laura that his hobby is addressing the causes of respiratory illness in minors. It's just as well they didn't meet speed dating. Frankly, she'd been on to Colin from Holloway while he was still halfway through the word respiratory. Robin, it's your turn. What work have you chosen as your love it or loathe it?
I've chosen On the Road by Jack Kerouac.
OK, and are you going to love it or loathe it to begin with?
I think I'd love it to begin with. I read it as a teenager. When I was a teenager, I've been waiting for the point that I could read books by Hunter S. Thompson, and because I'm a huge fan of taking a lot of drugs with large Samoans, if I find a heroin addict kind of just, you know, patting his arm there and going, I used to play jazz, I'd run away. Whereas people like Sal Paradise can actually go and try and embrace that life. So to me, it was an amazing thing, the whole beginning of the jazz age, of that modern jazz age, I should say, and I found it very exciting. That's why I love Jack Kerouac's work, and also I like anything which involves a man accidentally shooting his wife in the head just as a prank.
So do we think, are we convinced about it?
Should we hear the
I'd like to hear, because every time he said Kerouac, he mispronounced it as Karamak.
So do you want to loathe it for us now?
Well, the trouble with On the Road, it's not that I so much loathe the book, I think what's happened is the self-indulgence that's happened in literature since that book came out. And in particular, I think it's really affected music journalists who have forgotten to interview the band now, and instead I had a really amazing night the night before, I'd had too much whiskey, so by the time I went to meet Razorlight, I already had sick in my shoes. And everyone believes that their life is worthy of autobiography. And for lots of middle-class people to basically think, oh, yeah, drugs. At the moment, I'm not very good at drawing, but I imagine if I drink all this, I'll become brilliant and really tortured.
It is.
Both of those could be
I understand that, because it's like bulimia. I've got half of it. I do the eating bit. And, but
I've never read On the Road, but I've known you for years, and you wouldn't look me in the eye when you were telling us why you loved it.
But I so wouldn't want you on a jury.
Yeah.
OK, I'm going to have to press you for an answer, so...
I think you loathe it.
Robin.
Yeah!
And rightly so.
I like to say.
Kerouac's best-selling book, On the Road, was based on his adventures travelling across America. Many, of course, also recall the harrowing version set in Britain called On the Buses. At the end of that round, Chris and John have done rather well. Robin and Sue have got 3 points, but Chris and John are in the lead with 7. We reach our final round called Losing the Plot. Now, captains are given the titles of well-known works, and they have to describe the plot to their teammates, who then have 90 seconds to guess as many of the titles as possible. So, as Chris and John are in the lead, you can start. 90 seconds, start now.
OK, bunch of kids with their nanny trolling around some mountains. La la la.
Music.
Yep. A member of the royal family from a Scandinavian country close to Sandi's heart wonders whether he ought to be or not to be.
Oh, well, Hamlet.
The decision is made for him.
Said Hamlet, yeah.
He said Hamlet.
Yeah.
I did beg your pardon. An enormous dog on the moors.
House of Baskervilles.
Yep. A tiny ginger orphan is a pain in the bum. And
Annie.
sings, yeah. It stars the greatest Jewish comedian of all time. It's his Oscar-winning film. Yeah. This is also with somebody with that same name. It's a Western. It's a musical.
And Get Your Gun.
Yes. This boys fight over the conch.
Lord of the Flies.
Yes. Oh no, there's a bomb on the bus. Quick, write a terrible film.
A duel.
No, if we slow down, the thing will explode. If we don't slow down,
Speed.
people will have to watch this. Yep. A boring black and white movie set in a grim northern town.
Taste of Honey.
In the 60s about somebody making up their life as they go along.
Oh, Billy Liar.
That's it.
That's a good film.
Oh, well done. I can tell you that Chris and John got 9 points, so they've got 16 at the moment. You've got 3.
Right.
14 of these right.
Easily done,
to win,
Sandi.
kids. So it's the work of a moment.
Yes.
Just ready to go? Your 90 seconds starts now.
Hamburg.
Important to being honest.
I am the king of the swingers.
Jungle Book.
And, trepanning, and he's gone mental. He's in an asylum. Very famous film, and there's somebody who may be the head of, he might be a Sioux or an Apache. Anyway.
Move on to another one. I have no idea.
You have to keep going.
Okay, there's an orderly in it. Doesn't like the main man very much. He's there. He's watching television all day. He's not really mental. In fact, he doesn't know why he's there at all. He's funny and wry and good.
Trepanning?
Yes, trepanning.
It's not trepanning, it's a lobotomy, you silly cow!
I was trying to be euphemistic. They just
Don't
start
be euphemistic,
gently.
you're allowed to use lobotomy.
Right, okay.
We've lost anyway, so I must just shout.
I'm trying to tell you the next one. Right, he's had a slight melty face accident. Ooh, I better cover it with a mask and I'll creep around the
Phantom of the
sewers.
Opera.
Yes. I tell you what, I'm going to come back and get you, and I can't die or nothing. Yeah, but there's another one of those.
The Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Mixed marriage. He's getting on nicely. Suddenly there's an interloper. He keeps saying, "Oh, come on now, you've got
Brady
to kill her."
Bunch.
No, it's written. No, they would have been murdered. It's written by a very famous, the Bard of Stratford.
Yeah, I know it's William Shakespeare. What happened?
Yes, mixed race.
Oh, Othello, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but he's not mixed
Shut
race,
it!
is he?
Oh, my bloomers! I'm going to rip them up and wave them like a flag.
Railway children.
Yes.
We've got 5 that we'll allow there. And after that exciting finale, we're all getting our breath back here, as I'm sure you are at home. Indeed, if you still have breath. Or indeed at home. This week's plucky losers are Sue and Robin with 8 points, while this week's valiant winners are John and Chris with 16.
Hooray for us.
Well, this has been What the Dickens. I've been Sandi Toksvig, and I'm away to the Saatchi Gallery to make Tracy Emin's bed. I'll see you there. Good night.